Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back, my friends. This is, of course, the MRC show that never ends. Well, I say it never ends. It sort of does. It does, because this is the season finale of season 13, of course, nonetheless. And we are here under the lights in the Lusail International Circuit in Qatar. Now then, we have already seen the championship being wrapped up last time out in Imola. So, congratulations again to Ujoni, who is taking this week out. But before we commence into qualifying for the final time, of course, not just in this season, but F1 23, it is my pleasure, as always, to introduce my teammate who has been there with me all season long. We've gone through the ups and downs together, and as well, it's always a pleasure to have him in the commentary box. It is Mr. Monster. Good evening, sir.
Oh, and you thought you couldn't get rid of us for one last race, could you?
Exactly. We're here, we're back, and, well, to be fair, mate, it wasn't a bad race for ourselves, and congratulations to Sam Flan, opening season, his debut season in MRC, and, of course, wins the title as well. Commiserations to Fox River, finishing second in the expert tier, so what a fantastic race there, and season those two have had, and of course, we've had our ups and downs, but probably glad to kind of get this one over with and look forward to 24 and the next one.
Yeah, I still haven't turned the wheel on the game yet, but this season's been an interesting one for myself, let's say this, because, again, I've had to take off another assist that I haven't had much chance to learn as quickly. I've had to learn a lot quicker than this, but it's been a learning curve.
It has, and I think we've done quite well, and you're not the only one in that boat as well, so, a lot of people have had to do that. A lot of people have had to go to no ABS as well, of course, in the elite tier. Evening, Mr. Hills. Welcome. Nice to see you from the hills of Andorra. Out the back of his camper van, somewhere. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have had to learn no ABS in the elite tier, and we are, of course, going back to ABS in Tier 1 next season. So actually, they're going to be Tier 1 and Tier 2 are going to have the same assist levels. So it's going to be an interesting one next season. It's going to be outright pace that gets you up there and keeps you in there as well. So, I mean, let us know in the YouTube chat what you think of the changes, and what about yourself? How do you think, Andrew, with the changes that are coming next season in F1 24?
It'll make it interesting. It'll make it very interesting. I won't lie, and it's going to take a lot of people to say who gets up to speed on the new handling model the quickest.
Yeah, of course, you're right there. That is also a big one, isn't it? We've always seen that gaming year in, year out with different games of who can actually adjust that little bit to the new game. And personally, I think there's a lot more traction, a lot more grip, and the front end of the cars are a lot different. So the setups that they've run in F1 23 sort of obsolete. So it's going to be, like you say, a big learning curve for everybody when we get into 24. And probably go ahead with that end of the month, close to end of June. So we'll have a few, of course, fun races and pre-season races for you all. So you won't miss MRC too much in the meantime.
No. Well, I was going to say, I think before the season starts, I think we both get a year older, don't we?
Well, yes, we do, actually. Yes, we do. Yeah, in a few days' time, we do. I mean, not much wiser, that's definite for one.
I think your rum cabinet's probably going to get a pounding this weekend, let's be honest.
More than likely. I mean, it wouldn't be a lead commentary with myself if there wasn't a rum bar to hand, so, you do what you got to do. Tell you what, we've got a few laps coming in thick and fast already. A 1:22.2 from Calvin, which is a really good opening lap. Stand out there. Chris Bailey set a lap time on the hard tyres on a 23.0. He was ridiculously fast in X the other night. So was Kidd. He's gone to watch. Case Soze had really good pace as well in X, and he was in expert tier. So was Xavier Ant as well. I know he's on the intermediates, of course. He was very, very quick as well. So this is going to be really, really interesting and really exciting to see what these guys can do in qualifying and who can look after the tyres, because, you found it yourself that, pardon me, Dynamite there at 121.2. I think we're going to see ourselves in the 20s at some point this qualifying session. And, it's that tyre, we had a safety car about the right time for the mediums to pit. And then we managed to get that other late one as well. G-Star lost a front wing, has had to bail on his lap. What can Loppy do? So this is the thing. Where would you start with tyres? We had an alternate strategy, and a lot of people did, and then saved a set of softs potentially for the end. They'll go maybe 7 or 8 laps that started, I think, to fade because I went on the mediums and the gap, they drove away from me, as the top 6 did all race long, in fairness.
Yeah.
But then they started to sort of hover for the last 2 laps and then sort of come back a little bit towards the end. So it's an interesting one to see who can look after those tyres, who's going to use the sets in qualifying, who's going to really push on. So I think this is going to be an interesting one to see who saves it. Chris is doing another lap on the hard tyres, doing a cool down at the moment. And I know he's actually pushing again. He hasn't got much ERS though, so I think we found in qualifying that the ERS usage on a hot lap, it actually uses the full lap deployment on the start-finish straight before the start-finish line. So Chris is going to be hindered right out of probably out the last corner, in fairness, but he just set a purple first sector. Wow.
Can someone also please find out what weather reports that Mercedes have got on at the moment? Because I'm just going to say this now, and you're in the middle of the desert. Why do you need the intermediates?
It wouldn't be a qualifying session with Ant if he didn't use a wet set of tyres.
Oh, that is true, but Chris is still finding some time with those hard tyres, but I wouldn't have run them in qualifying, though. I
mean, I wonder if he's gone for like the harder choice of tyres, so he gets the extra set of the hard tyres in qualifying, so he can use them and just test it, and just test if he's made some changes from the other night. And he has run out of his ERS on the run to the line, but it's going to be an interesting, might still be an improvement on his time. Let's have a quick look. What can he do on that one? He does improve. Yeah, so that's an interesting one from Chris.
It is, and I can't wait for him. I can't wait for him for next season as well, because both of them, he's going to be up there again next season. I think with the elite tier as well, and I think he's going to love buying the new Leafs shirt for next season. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. We won't trigger him. I think you triggered him, didn't you, early? I think you triggered him in the break that we had in expert tier.
Yeah, I did. The eternal rivalry between us, for Leeds and Villa, will never go away.
I think it's Leeds and every other football team known to man.
Yeah, that's about right. Just having a look around at the grid at the moment, as I say, Dynamite and Keys are literally nose to tail, apart from Calvin, Reese as well. Armar Red, he's the standout. Yeah. He's had a really good first few laps in this, getting this car warmed up.
Yeah, I mean, he has. I mean, he's got his eye in, of course. Had a brilliant race in the Expert Tier 6, I think he was in the end. Oh, Alex very wide invalidates his lap time. Ryan up there in 6th, absolutely fantastic lap time. He likes this place. I know he's a bit fired up for this one. And so he's really going to be on the ball, and he was quick in the Expert Tier, and then obviously took the pit stops that they have to do, of course. But we've got Smith reserving this evening, B17 as well. So who else have we got reserving this evening? Armored, as Saul mentioned, and Woomax. So yeah, we've got some good reserves, and it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. And this is a track, I mean, you ran a lot more downforce than myself, and I mean, I was still getting, like I said, driven away from. But it's going to be interesting, as you mentioned it in passing comment at some point during the race, that people are going to be running lower wings around here and sort of holding on a little bit around, for example, where Calvin is at the moment in that middle sector, in the hope that as soon as he gets up to a little bit of speed, they're going to start pulling away again and using that extra top speed. And it's going to be an interesting one again for this one. It's one of those tracks that, a very new track, was only, 2021 was the first race here in Formula 1. It didn't take place in 22 because of the World Cup, but then returned in 2023 and we got a 10-year contract here. So we're going to be here for a long time.
No, I'm not necessarily a bad thing, but I know a lot of our two-wheel viewers will recognise this place anyway as the old opening round for the MotoGP World Championship.
It has been, yeah, for a number of years. And good evening, my friend. Nice to have you. Into second on his second run, so fantastic lap time right behind Kid Dynamite. Calvin's bailed on his. What is Reese doing?
It sounds like you're swimming in a minute.
Oh, that's a strange one. Not sure why. I haven't moved.
Yeah, there we go.
I have no idea.
Bit of feedback.
Yeah, it might have been the connection. I've gone back to wired controller when I do commentary because my other one sounded like I was actually swimming and in a cave. So I've gone back to the wired.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it didn't work very well, that one. I don't know why. I think my headset is a bit older. We did. We have.
But no, as I say, it's one of these ones. A lot of people know it, as I say, as the MotoGP circuit before it became an F1 track. It's one of the newer ones in the Middle East I actually like, along with Bahrain, and I know I'm going to probably trigger a lot of people here. I'm not the biggest fan of Saudi Arabia.
I've grown a bit with Jeddah. I've grown a bit with this. I think our first experience in MRC with this track was a full 100% race. And as Reese put it, into third, good lap, into the 21s. And yeah, we did a full 100% race. And honestly, I couldn't see by the end of it. I was dizzy. And there weren't many reference points in this track. I do believe they've changed it for F1 24. I haven't ran it yet, but if anyone has, please tell me. And it'd be interesting to find out if they have changed it. And it hopefully, because it's one of those that I don't mind it. I'm never quick round here, but I don't mind it. I think I don't mind night races, to be honest.
No, I don't, and especially as well with this place. I remember that 100% race quite well. Wasn't that the realistic one where you had about 5 or 6 people in the commentary box at one point?
I think you might be right, actually. Yeah, I think we did. That was quite good fun, that, wasn't it? I think we had...
Yeah, it was quite a crap one that was that night.
Yeah, I think you were with us, weren't you, as well?
Yeah, I was.
You were with us. I think Bailey was with us. Connor was in there. I think Simon was in there.
I think Gavin was in there at one point as well.
Oh, crikey. That's going back a bit of time.
But, I definitely think this place is a lot better probably on a wheel, I think, compared to a controller, although I haven't tried it on controller yet, but...
I just can't race on controller anymore. I just couldn't. Evening, Utsav, Sav. Good evening. Welcome to MRC. I've not recognised your name, mate, so thank you for finding us. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the action and us talking absolute rubbish for the next hour on a Monday evening.
I've seen someone pop it into P2 as well, and
yeah,
I'm going to highlight this very fact now. I could not lose the man pretty much for most of my race.
Yeah, you didn't have fun with him, did you?
I spent more time looking at the back of his car than anything else.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't leave me alone.
Oh, Chris has invalidated his soft run. Oh, the second last corner, he was half a second up. Probably not the best lap he's had, so he has bailed on it.
It's easy to do here. It's so easy to do here with the track limits.
It is, isn't it? I mean, on Friday I had 9 seconds worth of penalties. Some were a bit daft and pushing a little bit harder than I should have done. And in P3 now, and yeah, I pushed, and I had 3 seconds this time round. Again, one of the warnings was just a bit daft, to be fair. Let's have a look who's on an outlap. Who's out there? Smith. Let's have a look at the South African man. And it is easy to say. It's one of those that, because you want to run the lower wings and the higher corner speed, and you want to get on the throttle and carry the speed through, it's so difficult. There are a lot of left-right combination corners that you need to line yourself up for, and that really lends to the higher downforce and to carry the speed, as you ran in yourself and we've mentioned. But you know that the higher speed is what people are trying to aim for at times, and it's that balance and easy then to run wide. And you mentioned it a few times, and I found it as well, that dirty air that you get around here because of the higher speeds is more prominent than it has been in other tracks.
Definitely. It's, again, as well, going back to something we mentioned earlier on this, it's with the battery drain, there's not really many heavy braking points are there at this place. I think probably the heaviest one is probably the hairpin that Smith is coming up to in a couple of corners' time.
Yeah, we're going to do an on-board lap very soon, especially when the top drivers, well, everybody really is going to come out of the pits for their fastest, or their final flying and fast lap. Don't forget, folks, if you haven't already, hit the like button, the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please ring the bell. Subscribe to MRC. 541 of you have done that so far. Keep it coming. We do have many, many races each week. Different tiers, different assists, different levels of driving. If you're PS on PlayStation and you have F1 24, as we are now turning to soon, please do join us. We are looking forward to having you with us, and we are running a no-line league, by the way, as of next season. So that's going to be an interesting one, the people adjusting and adapting to that as well. Of course, we've got our driver coaches to help people adapt from the current sport tier to roll that into a third overall tier and then help with no-line. And I remember when we actually changed an MRC from a line to no-line. And it took, I mean, it didn't take long because Chaos Druid doesn't like that fact. Good evening, mate. But, I mean, it doesn't take long because it's weird. In the back of your mind, you actually know the breaking points. You have actually a reference already. You don't really look at the line that's on the track. You already are looking ahead to where it changes and the markers. Because it's in the back of your mind. It's sort of subliminal that you make the change and you learn. So, it's one that, I think people will pick up very quickly. Yeah, there'll be a few people out breaking themselves a little bit or a bit cautious at times. But that's why we host the practice sessions. That's why we host a Thursday night before the Friday races, which are going to change again next season. And then a Sunday night practice session for everyone, just to get their eye in, not just setups, but get their eye in general and help with that track evolution and learn the track themselves, and we encourage that as well as the coaching. So we've got a really in-depth league here that's set up from Mr. Hills, who is away, as we've mentioned, but of course the really hard-working team of stewards, the commentary team that we have here, and of course the every administrator in the background and the coaches. So we all work hard, and we do well, don't we?
Yeah, it is a very hard process, and I know myself from past experiences, being one of the admins for one of my other leagues I'm involved with. It is a lot of hard work, and it is a lot of work to get everything going in. I mean, I did the admin for a bit as well, because I had to organise commentary and everything like that, and I know how much fun it can be, let's put it that way.
It can be, yeah. So, final runs now. Chris has popped it into fifth on his soft tyre run. Now, let's have an onboard lap with Mr. Dynamite. The DRS is wide open down the pit straight. The one DRS zone on this track. DRS is on the hot lap. He is going to hit the brakes, use every bit of track, using about the 50-metre board into fourth to get the turn in, up shifts to fifth, use every bit of track, out to turn one, into the long sweeping turn two, keeps it in fifth to keep the traction, and then flat out through turn three, kink. And is he going to keep to the left-hand side, use all the track? He does, brakes very late down to sixth. He keeps it in, that car rotating very nicely through 4 and 5. And then the swing again across the track, late braking, uses third gear through turn 6 hairpin and sets a purple first sector. In the meantime, the long, never-ending, very difficult turn 7, turn 8, there it was, keeps over the curb, that was the king. Turn 9 flat out as well, keeps it to the right for the long again. Turn 10, easy to outbrake and run wide through that one, uses every bit of track, perfect from Kid Dynamite round there. That was turn 11, and now the very fast, very exciting, hard punishing on the tyres, turn 12, turn 13, keeps his foot planted. Slight little lift to get the car turned and settle over 14. Turn 15, there's a bump in the middle of that. Very, very difficult. Easy to lose the rear end. No such problems for Kit. Late braking, keeps it in fifth gear. Runs a little bit of understeer. Mid-corner overspeed through 16. Now the DRS wide to the line. What can Kit do? Can he beat Ant's time and take pole position? He does a 120.9.
Wow. That is a gauntlet thrown, just saying to me, look, I may have lost the title this season, but I'm going out with a bang.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm so glad we were on board with that one. What a gorgeous lap that was. Ant had pumped it by 1,000th of a second into second. Oh, Saviour's had a connection issue, left the session. He should be back because he'll start in P3. Armour Red, what a qualifying from him in 4th. Fantastic qualifying. Beats Neville, Chatty Duck in 5th, Reese in 6th, Chris in 7th, Calvin, what a good qualifying as well, in 8th, Kesa Soze in 9th, LOL in 10th. Ryan couldn't unfortunately improve too much. He starts 11th, but a fantastic qualifying from the Ferrari man. Floppy Loppy in 12th. Alex Edric, our Qatari, resident Qatari, in 3rd. It certainly is. I know, I can't believe we're saying that, but fantastic in Qatar. Dumas Horner in 14th, E17 15th, Smith 16th, G-Star and Womax. I think they both had qualifying bans, so they have just done some laps, which they were allowed to do, but not set a lap time. That was an interesting qualifying session. We saw a few drivers use a set of mediums, saw some of them use the set of hards, i.e. Chris Bailey. And then Dynamite right at the end pulls out the set of... well, I mean, we said would get a 120, but I didn't expect it to be 6,000th into the 20s.
That was exquisite.
Yeah, it was. Look at the top 3, half a second, then a bit of a gap again to Armour Red, and then the rest of the field are quite tightly packed. There's about 0.3 of a second separating 4th to about 10th, so very, very close. Again, there's just a few little tenths, and this is the track that the traction really plays into that, doesn't it? And it really can hamper you if, and that turning, that understeer that we mentioned with the lower wings potentially there.
It does, and it'll be an interesting Grand Prix. I can definitely see that.
It will do. It will, of course, only 18 drivers this evening, unfortunately. And we do sometimes see that at the end of the season. Some people couldn't, unfortunately, make it. We're getting to the summertime as well, so people are away. But it's a bit of a shame. But, we're still nearly there. We haven't had to call it off or anything. I think we're calling out for drivers for Comp Tier and Sport Tier on Wednesday, which I think is you and I might have to feature in, to be fair. But that's no hardship. It's good. Actually, it's good fun racing with those guys.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit more fun for me because I was stuck behind at least 4 or 5 of them at one point.
Well, you were stuck behind the elites tonight. Yeah, you were today, weren't you?
Yeah, they just wouldn't leave me alone for most of it.
No, they weren't. It was a bit frustrating for you. And then I had the championship battle up ahead of me, and they were pulling ridiculous speed per lap and had a few battles, I'm not going to lie, with Armour Red, which was really good fun. And Kesa Soze as well, to mention him, and it was good fun. And then I felt like I was doing a practice session of just trying to keep clean, to be honest. And it was just, I did this it was happening on Friday. I was on my own, and then once again I was on my own tonight, and it is what it is. But we got points, which was great for us, and we finished our difficult season with a bang. And a lot of the drivers, I mean, there's, of course, like we say, Johnny's won the championship here in Leap, but we've got a few. I think the constructors are still up for grabs, isn't it? You were checking this out, weren't you, for me?
Oh, I'll have a quick look for us now. Yes.
And I think second, some of the other drivers at standings aren't done yet. There's I think maybe second or third are still up for grabs. So, there's still a bit to play for here. A bit of bragging rights, especially between teammates, and bragging rights with, Saviour probably, and Chris Bailey and everybody else, I suppose.
Oh, Chris and Saviour, they get on like a house on fire, those two.
Yeah, they do.
But no, I'm just having a quick check the constructors at the moment.
Yeah, I think that it's not done. It can still be overhauled, I do believe.
It's a 31-point gap between Ferrari and Mercedes, so...
Yeah, it's going to take quite a bit of a jump this evening, isn't it? So,
Ryan's there. It's elite again, isn't it?
It is, It is. So, of course, we're missing Ujoni this evening. So Ryan is, de facto team leader. But he's there in 11th, and he does like it around here. He's shown some good pace, and other Mercedes guys are up there. So just a couple of points from Ryan will secure that double for the Ferrari boys and for Ujoni. And then it's quite close, I think, a little bit further back.
The main one looks like it's going to be between Aston Martin and AlphaTauri tonight with this one. There's nine points separating those two.
Where in the championship? Sorry, I don't have it up.
Third and fourth.
Ah.
170 points, plays 161.
Excuse me. Yeah, so that is, again, really, really tight. And like I say, Joni has won the championship, but again, I think that one's quite close, just a bit further back from him. So
I will have quick ganders again.
And there's a lot of places around here because, as well, we saw on board with Dynamite that, like I said, a lot of the corners are left-right complexes, so you are swinging the car from one side of the track to another to try to keep that average, that mean speed up. But it really seems that the fastest way around turn one, especially if you're going to overtake, is around the outside because, as you mentioned, it turns into the inside for turn two. And
I think you
that's
found
kind of
that, didn't you?
I did have, and I think it was Saviour, passed me around the outside of turn 7. I mean, I know he's on the softs and I was on the mediums, but I know he's also a very fast German. Because we never have any of those in F1 history. So, I mean, that was a fantastic move from Saviour. Absolutely credit where it's due. We left space, and yeah, I just knew he was coming past, and then he disappeared again and of course he had to make that extra pit stop, which we're not going to see tonight. But you know, it was ridiculously fast.
Oh yeah, but I'm having a quick check through the drivers. Chris is 17 back on Reese. Ant is 10 back on Kid Dynamite, so there could be some little battles to keep an eye on as well. And Lerapel and LRL, they could have a nice little finish ding dong scene of the season too.
Yeah, I think we're about ready to ready up as well. 21:16 it is, and that's the time to ready up for these guys. So we're going to be getting 29 laps under the lights underway. Final time, of course, F1 23 and the Elite Tier season.
Let's have a look at the tyres quickly.
Yes, I'm about to bring that one up. Exactly that. Good call. So, tyres, well, it's a little bit less of a split than we saw in our tier. Only 2 drivers on the hard tyres, Thomas Hornet and Saviour in third. Everybody else has gone for the mediums. So that's quite interesting. We don't know if Chris has got an extra set of the hard tyres after he used them in qualifying. And also, you know, the early safety cars can really play a part. And also, it's the tyre temps around here. I saw in Discord afterwards, Sam Flan, I think it was Sam Flan, was mentioned about, I think it was the hard tyres, he was struggling for the temperatures. They were overheating quite a lot for him. And of course, the wear goes through the roof with this. I was running minimum pressures, and my fronts just wore out so quickly, especially the mediums. After, when did I start moaning and complaining? About lap 8? Lap 9? And
I thought it was corner 1, wasn't it?
Probably, yeah, I think so. It might have been. So that's it. I mean, it's to keep those mediums alive with the heavy fuel. You started on the hards and you found they were a lot better. I struggled on the mediums in the opening stages. Well, I didn't struggle after very quickly, and we had that safety car, we had that virtual, and it still didn't help. And again, the tyre temps really play a big part. I'm sure most of the drivers are going to be running 0 tyre pressures. Ant's just making up his own Qatar track. I think he's gone all the way to Bahrain there.
But there's one more thing these guys have to worry about, especially with this place. If we get no safety cars, this place drinks fuel.
It does. Oh, Saviour, I think, it's disconnected again. His car's ghosted. Oh, I hope he gets in soon before the start. He's on the hard tyres, hopefully. And it does start medium to hard is the strategy that he goes with. So, I hope he gets in for the McLaren man. But yeah, you're right, it really, really drinks fuel. The safety cars helped us with it. We overfueled and we were safe, as everyone was in our tier. But you're right, if we don't get that safety car, you've got to be lap and a half, 2 laps over probably to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, I've done races here where I've gone a whole lap. I was a lap under, and I was crawling around the last lap.
Yeah, I've did that. I think in the 100% race, and I was fuel saving like there was no tomorrow. And it's not easy to do because there's no braking. You can't really lift off as much, so it is very, very difficult. However, Womack's just parked his car up on the grid, miles away. So let everything settle down for the timing screens. And for the final time in Elite T, we have 5 red lights and we go racing. Chris Bailey's jump start. Saviour hasn't got away at all. This is absolute mental at the start. Chris Bailey, that's incredible for him. He's going to be absolutely gutted. But he's up there with his teammate on the outside. Kid Dynamite got a fantastic start. He's ahead of Ant flickering a little bit. Armour Red, what a fantastic start. He's up into third, battling with Chris Bailey already. Chatty Duck up there as well. Reese has got a poor start. He's down a little bit. Armour Red, I think he may have got forced wide, and now he's dropping back to 6th. Calvin, poor start from him. Ryan stayed where he is. He's actually the only driver, apart from the top two, who stayed where they are. But everyone's side by side. And B17 Saviour, I think,
yeah,
I'm not sure what.
Off of around the first build complex.
It was only a yellow flag though. We're still racing. Saviour, I think, has got control of his car. We'll go back to the leaders where everybody is nose to tail. Kid Dynamite's got a bit of a gap, and then Chris, of course, is going to have to push really, really hard. That drive-through penalty, absolutely guttering for the Mercedes, but that is not going to help their championship at all. Ryan battling at the outer reaches as well of the top 10 with his teammate Womack, who had a fantastic start as well. So this is going to be, he's battling with Calvin, good friends, of course. So that's going to be a good fight. I'm sure they're in a party as well. Chris is probably shouting and swearing. Dynamite went a little bit wide out the second last corner. That could be a warning. Chris is taking his drive-through early. He's taking it straight away.
Now.
I mean, he's going to come out in clean air. He's going to come out ahead of E17 where he is. Or he should do, in theory. So he's going to be able to just do his own thing, save tyres where he needs to, save ERS where he needs to. We've got a good battle further down. Let's have a look. This is Alex. Wow, look at this 3 abreast we've got, right?
Yeah,
wow. Oh, and we've got Alex on the outside trying to defend from Red Car. Rambo forced him a little bit wide. There's no love lost there. Oh, Ryan, 2 places, I do believe, down the start finish. Oh, Alex goes wide again. Is he going to lose it to Calvin? There he goes. There's Calvin through as well. And we've got the other Womack, we've got the other Ferrari fighting. So this is going to be extremely important for the championship standings.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look at checking on the McLaren.
Saviour, he's pitted. I hope he gets back in.
It's glitched for him.
It has. He's completely glitched for him. He's stuck in viewer's perspective. He can't get control of his car. Apps. Oh, Alex. Oh, mate. Not a way to end it. I am. He's had an incredible season, some fantastic races, and just not gone well for him. That's so shame. I'm sure he'll be glad to see the back of F123 now.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Oh, 100%, 110%. Now then, the gap up front, Kid Dynamite's broken that 1 second window. Johnny Duck goes very, very wide. That's going to be a warning for him as well. We mentioned the track limits, but 2 seconds, and really pressuring. He's outside of the DRS, which is now active this lap. Dynamite, well, I'll say Dynamite's at the fast lap, and suddenly beats him.
But Ant's going to have the confidence pretty much after Friday as well, especially with the MRCX win.
Yeah, he is. He was absolutely ridiculous. He was rapid. So, Reese, Armour's just sticking with this Chatty Duck train as well. Oh, that was a car pulling to the side. That was Saviour's car. For some reason it came out the pits and disappeared, so it's all good. Chris Bailey in 16th. He's got the track to himself, so he can just get his head down now. That was Chatty Duck. Big moment outside of turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Managed to keep it going.
He nearly had a quacker, did he?
Oh. I mean, that's so bad it's good.
Yeah. Just no one get me a book of jokes for my birthday, otherwise I'll bring him to commentary.
Someone get him one. That gap, top 2, look at that, 0.7 of a second, nearly 3 seconds further back now. After his little battling with Chatty Duck. Armour Red's there. LRL Stefan, he's been just a quiet dark horse. Chatty Duck there, he was mentioned he went wide earlier. I wonder if he's using a low downforce setup and just struggling a little bit. He's got his teammate right behind him. I wonder if he's just struggling in that dirty air at this moment in time.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be the case. But Armour Red, he's looking like he belongs with this tier at the moment.
Yeah, he certainly does. Calvin and Floppy Loppy having a battle. There's a few good groups further down. Look at that. He's gone on his teammate. He has. Yeah, Soze must have had a bit of a moment. He was quite close to his teammate, was Soze. Now Armour Red makes the move. These guys had a good battle in expert tier, and I know that because I was there. I was just trying my best and kind of got outclassed by them both. And they had some really good ding-dong battles. And very fair battles. I know Steve's a very good racer, and Armour Red was. We had some really good overtakes, all down the start-finish straight into turn 1, of course, where the DRS was, and we had a good few little ding-dongs through turn 1, 2, and 3, and same with Soze as well, and that was really good fun at the time. Stressful, but good fun.
I'm just having a quick look back at again another friend I was making during the exhibit race. Lorpy keeping an eye with the two Ferraris at the moment, and I think Rambo's looking like he's going to have a go at him.
He certainly is. We're on board with him. He's going to try at the top. Where's there going to be space? Lorpy had to back out. What a move!
Good to see Ryan put it on his Brave Boy pants today.
Wow, he really has. I mean, that was a fantastic move. He's going to be vulnerable, though, now. Lorpy right on the back. He's going to be vulnerable to his teammate and Alex Edric as well going down the pit straight. I'm not going to look at his ERS anymore. And close that gap to half a second. There they are at the end of the start-finish straight. Ryan got a good run out the final corner. I wonder if Lorpy got a bit of a toe. Look, this Ryan's trying to break the toe. Lorpy's gone to the inside line. So is his teammate on the inside. Well. He's trying to have a look, but he can try to defend on the outside for Woomax. Woomax is reserved. Ryan does hold that place. Lorpy gets it, though. And this is... and of course, Ryan's ERS light is flashing. It wouldn't be Ryan if it wasn't. But he's got a good run through turn 3. He's going to have a look at the top of the turn.
That's brave.
It was very, very brave. But look, his teammate is absolutely all over the back. Tries to have a quick look. Yeah, it's not really the place.
Up on the right side of the bed this morning. He's looking really punchy.
They really are. And Ryan just needs to start to save that ERS. Keep with Floppy Loppy through that middle sector. We're just kind of... I'm still looking at the times. Look, Armour Red just outside currently at the DRS. He may be vulnerable to Case of Soze down the start-finish straight. We're going to have a quick look at that. I'm sort of out of breath, to be honest, already.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick back look at the leaders. Ant is slowly reeling in that Alpha Tauri.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's looking good. But we're going to look at Ryan's right on the back. He's got a 3-second penalty as well, Ryan. Easy to do.
He looks like he's pushing that hash around the last corner.
Yeah, but we're just going to keep on board. What can Ant do down the start-finish straight? Not close enough. Going to go back to this battle further back. This is Case of Soze. It does get past Armour Red with the DRS further back. We've got Ryan. There it is on the inside line. Is Lobby going to try and hold it on the outside? He tries and can't do it. That camera angle really changed. But look at that. Woomax has got through.
Very opportunistic move from Woomax.
Yep, that's big for the championship as well, of course. 3 points to the Ferraris as it stands. Well, actually, no, sorry, it's not. It's actually 2 points to the Ferraris as it stands, of course, unfortunately, with the 3-second penalty for Ryan. But it's enough. You said there's 31-point difference, so Chris is going to... I mean, Chris has really closed that gap. It was 12 seconds. A few laps ago, 8.6. He's closing to the pack. So that's going to be key, of course, for Chris to get through it. And now, because of the tyres, he's on the... and currently getting 18 points. Not enough. Needs Chris up there with him. They need a minimum of a 2-3. If my maths is correct.
Ferrari's got the gap to make up 31 points, sorry.
Oh, Ferrari got the gap. Oh, sorry, apologies.
Mercedes
so Ant is doing it. Okay, my bad. Completely the wrong way.
My apologies.
No, I think that was me not listening.
No, it's fine.
I'm getting overexcited. But, so that's interesting. So he's doing enough then, unfortunately. So Ryan's really having a battle further back. We're going to keep our eye on that one. He's dropped his teammate there by about a second. Armour Red again. It gets Soze back the following lap.
Yeah, again, he's really punching it. He's really holding his weight against a lot of these high-class drivers. In a minute, he can hold his head up really high tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if he actually uses ABS, because, of course, at the moment, this is no ABS in the elite tier. So, and this is one of the tracks, because you mentioned that there isn't really a heavy braking zone, apart from the hairpin where they are now, that you're sort of able to trail brake a little bit. You're not doing a lot of heavy braking. You're doing about 75%, give or take, most of that time, just to slow the car enough. And and using the gears to help with the engine braking, which is a new feature in F1 24, which is going to take some getting used to. But that locking up isn't really technically a huge issue, you might say, around here.
Not really.
Ryan's out! Oh, and there's a safety car. Oh, Ryan, he was through that really fast section there, turn 10 and turn 11 on the exit. Oh, Ryan.
Just trying to see with Chris where he's gone off.
Wow, that was so unlucky. Is he there still? The car's gone, unfortunately. But yeah, it looked like it was on the inside. I think there's some tyre marks there. That's absolutely guttering. Everyone's deciding to pit the pits. So let's have a look at it.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I think those means are going to start hard tyres for the top two.
These should be hard tyres pretty much all around. Even Dumbest Hornet, who's on the hards at the moment, is coming in.
Yeah, so it means it's probably this now probably makes it into a two-stop race minimum, doesn't it now? Because of that.
So yeah.
Because I mean, I'll be surprised if they manage to take a good 20 laps, as well, which will have 21 laps of racing. I'll be very surprised if everyone could take those hard tyres that long.
I don't even think Checo Perez himself could probably do it.
I mean, Ant probably can in second. He's probably the man who can do that. But even on here, we mentioned it, of course, the tyres and how easy it is for them to wear through, and it is going to be very difficult.
Again, like I said, it's how the wear is, especially because it's not a lot of high-speed corners around here. It's not a lot of slow braking. It's also a lot of very fast stuff, especially around that last sector where E17 is at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, I've just checked. Dumbest Hornet's gone on to another set of mediums, then.
He started on the hards.
Yes, he did. My apologies, but he is definitely going to have to stop again. They're not going to make it to the end.
No, he will, and I think, I found that they went about 8-9 laps before the wear, especially at the front, really started kicking in for me. And then I think a lot of people did struggle as well with that. So this has probably helped those medium tyre runners, but it does definitely bring in that two-stop. And this is where, have people saved a set of mediums? Have people got a set of softs potentially for the end? And if there's that chance of safety car, as we mentioned, it really throws up those strategies.
It does. It does, yeah. And especially because I don't think the pit lane here is not a terribly long one.
No, you go into it before. Time. Yeah, you're right. You go into it before the last corner, but the actual pit lane marker, the line, is quite a long way down. So you can actually use that. Take that inside line of the final corner where we are now, and you can see it at the top of your screen, folks. And then down where it opens up there on the right hand side, and you can see where people have hit the brakes and they've locked up the tyres where the rubber is, where the line is. So you can actually. It is quite a quick entry.
It is. And also as well, there's not really much reference point when you get down there, apart from if you have the HUD on, as to where the line is. Yeah. So it's quite easy to get a penalty here for speeding.
Yeah, I think we actually only saw one in the expert tier. I think everyone was quite well behaved with it, and we haven't seen, after everybody's pitted now in the field, that we haven't seen another one yet. So you're right there, they've done quite well, but you're right, there's not a huge amount of reference points.
No, there isn't. It's quite the same. It's a lot of similarities in the track, isn't there, between a lot of the corners?
In which respect? Sorry.
They're all a bit. The track's very flat. There's not a lot of reference points, as you say, compared to a lot of other tracks.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, because it's so high speed, you're pretty much braking at 50 metres or yards. Well, it's all in metres now, isn't it, in F1? But the 50 metre board, you brake in there for most of it. Sometimes a bit later, sometimes a little bit. If you want to be a bit safer, you want to go a bit sooner than that. But yeah, you're pretty much braking the same point each time. And in fairness, there was a couple of times midway through the race I was actually braking and changing down the gear for turn 12, the flat out right hander, and just because I got lost again.
Yeah, I was dropping it to 6 a few times through there.
Yeah, and that's simply because, I mean, you heard me just go whoops or crap or other words, and that was simply because of that. Anyway, folks, please do get involved in the YouTube chat. We've only got a few of you, so come on, everybody watching. We want to see the likes. I don't know why there's only 9 of you in board this evening. Everyone must be enjoying the sunshine. It is red hot up here in the northeast of England. 22 degrees
warm,
it has been.
Quite warm here in the Midlands.
Yeah, we're not used to it in the northeast though. It's a bit weird. But safety car in. We saw in expert T the drivers go very, very early, really catching people out. Now then, where does Kid Dynamite go? He's gone extremely early outside of the second last corner. Really put the hammer down. Didn't catch Ant napping at all. Reese really didn't get caught napping at all. He's right round the back of the Mercedes. Everyone all good, everyone getting away nicely there. Womack may have got hampered a bit, depends on where he was in the pack, but Calvin's got the best run. Calvin now having a look at Casey Soze further back down the field. Let's have a quick look. Is he going to have the run to turn one there? The side by side backs out of it wisely for this point in time. Let's get rid of those tyres now. We know exactly who's pitted and who's on what. Most of them have done us on the hard tyres. Now then, what can Chris Bailey do? He's in 15th. He pitted as well for the hard tyres. He's now been able to catch the back of the pack and be back on with all of these guys. So let's see what Chris can do. We know how fast he has been, especially on Friday. So he can just pick his moments. It's easy for people to make mistakes, to run wide. Let's have a look. Oh, he is. I did see a driver go around. I think that was B17. It was. In the back, Chris is going on the outside around. Wow, that's a good move. What a move that is from Chris.
Brave Chris.
It was great defending and space given from Smith. So now up to 14th and on the back of the eldest Pratt brother, the elder Hornet. His brother unfortunately couldn't be with us this evening. I'm sure he's actually singing away somewhere. And speaking of him, he's got a 3-second penalty. I didn't even need to speak. He didn't even have to be on comms, and I managed to jinx his older brother.
No, he just channeled the force through you.
Yeah, I think Simon will probably be smug at that one. He might chuckle.
I think I can hear someone laughing from up north now.
Where? I can't think where he's from now, Simon.
Oh, just have a quick look at the house. G-Star, low P to turn one.
Oh, we're just keeping an eye. Yeah, that's the closest battle on track. G-Star and Loppy. Look at that. G-Star trying to go on the outside of turn two. That's going to be very brave. But manages to get it done. Carries the speed. Great move.
Very nicely done.
I'm sure those two are both friends as well. Both Dutch drivers. I'm sure they're good friends.
It was odd. It was odd seeing G-Star in the Alpine earlier on our race.
I bet it was. Oh, Dumas on left a session connection issue for Chris. Chris Bailey's actually through on the other Chris, so he's now up to 13th and now following Chatty Duck 3 seconds. That's huge. The way he's battling with Reese Armour Red. Stefan dropped a little bit back, but got through on Casey Soze, so that's going to be a battle now to keep our eyes on with Calvin, who showed fantastic pace in qualifying.
That he did, and he's keeping that Alpine glued to his view screen, just going, look, you ain't not losing me, Kaiser, not a chance in heck.
Yeah, exactly that one. And luckily, Dumas Hornet has rejoined, lost a place to Smith, unfortunately, in that disconnection phase. But he's back in and hopefully takes control of his car. But now, this lap, we're going to have the DRS now enabled, but not this time round at the end of this lap. And now Reese is actually keeping up with the top 3 now, so that's interesting.
Maybe his setup is preferring to the harder tyres, because and Dynamite have not dropped him yet at all.
No, they haven't, and you're right. Some people do. Some drivers prefer a certain set of tyres. I generally don't mind hard compound tyres. A lot of people really, really don't like them.
No, it depends on the track with me.
Yeah, I sort of get where you're coming from. I think it's the way I set my car up is quite harsh on the tyres. The way I drive is harsh on the tyres. So the hard tyres seem to suit me. I seem to be able to maybe get them in a window, not necessarily quick, but get them into some kind of window that work. But, you're right. Some people prefer the softer compounds, the mediums and the softs. E17's retired at the exit of turn 5. There's another safety car. 12 laps in, second safety car. Now that, we're going to see people pit. I mean, we've only had, 3 racing laps?
I can't see people pitting on this one.
I can't, but this is going to help someone like Ant to potentially take those hard tyres towards the end of the race. Safety car permitting, of course. Safety car permitting. But it's going to be interesting to see if anyone does decide to box.
Womack's taunted it, and Lorpy. They teased it, but they didn't go in.
Yeah, we saw that a bit on Friday evening as well. And for those of you who like the kicky ball variant, there was the National England squad playing this evening, and they have beaten in a friendly Bosnia 3-0 up at the Stadium of Light in Newcastle in Geordieland.
Why, aye?
Aye. We go down there a bit, aye?
I probably just offended about every single Northerner we probably have watching now. So bye-bye to that audience.
To be fair, well, I think myself, Ryan, Stoob are the most northern. Well, of course, we've got Scottish Ninja and a few of the Scotsmen. But in England, I do believe we're the most northern. So, and we take the mick out of the Geordies and the Mackhams mostly daily. I work with two Geordies, so I definitely take the mick.
That's fair.
So we're all good.
I'm in good then.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, I get the Mickey taken out of the Midlands anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, but you're just the butt of England. Never mind the butt of jokes, you're just the butt of England. And there's probably a lot of you over there in MRC, so I might get it coming from me now.
Hey, you've been down here, this part of the woods.
I have multiple times, you're right.
Remember?
I do. So, nobody has decided to pit, which, they've only done a couple of laps on the tyres. Luckily, I think Chris Pratt and Dumasonic has managed to get back in his car. Hopefully he has. Safety car probably going to come in at the end of this lap. We'll wait and see. No, it's not. Unless it's a very late call.
Everyone's
together.
We've
got it's going around one more time. So again, this is really going to help those hard tyre runners just cool them down a bit. We heard and saw in Discord that the tyre pressure, the tyre temperatures, really, really difficult to keep within a window around here because of those higher speeds. And this is going to help them just keep the life in them just that little bit longer and allow them to cool down. And this for people like Ant, it's unfortunately Ryan would have been in that conversation as well with the way he saves tyres. It's going to be quite important for them, and especially if there is no late safety car and people's hard tyres fall off. This is where Ant could really be dangerous. But it's also getting them up to that temperature again, getting the confidence and the grip, where the grip comes in and fades, as we know. It's going to be a battle here, and we saw Reese fired them up really, really well, and we're sticking with the top two on this last safety car restart.
He did. Ant was not losing him in that first stint.
Oh, he was not. And then we had that battle with Chatty Duck, Armour Red, Soze as well, and Calvin. And let's have a quick look at those penalties before everyone comes in. So 6 seconds for I didn't realise Chatty Duck had 6 seconds. So these kind of safety cars throughout the race are going to hurt him so badly. G-Star, Loppy, Smith and Dumas Horner all with 3 seconds each, and it'd be interesting to see throughout if anyone's got any warnings so far, but we can't show those, of course. But we don't
want anyone having a psychological advantage.
Yeah, exactly that, which is why we try not to show the DRS as much as we possibly can, even though as soon as you go anywhere near an onboard, it just shows up on the steering wheel, which is rubbish.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that graphic. I never have. Since they brought it in, I'm just not been a fan.
No, I can agree with that. It makes our lives a little bit more difficult.
It does when we're trying not to give, as you mentioned, the advantages to other people. So now Dynamite just backing the pack up. Will he go as early as he did last time round? Will Ant fall for it? Is Ant going to be wise? And there's not much weaving from any of the drivers to get any heat into any of their tyres. So this is going to be an interesting one of what they can do with them. So they're trying to just keep the life and not take too much out. Does Dynamite drop the hammer early? Or is he just going to keep them guessing, keep them a little bit longer?
He's not.
He's gone, he has, but that was a good little drop of the hammer there just before the final corner. A little bit of understeer with the cold tyres, but Ant sort of goes with him. Everyone's still quite good. Calvin got a good restart. He's on the back of the Alpine case of Soze. Everyone's probably going to be dumping all the ARS to defend and attack and hold position as they do down the start finish. Straight case of Soze is on the back of LRL. Armour Red on the back of Chatty Duck once again. He was on the back, right on the back of Reese. Oh, through the first couple of corners. Can't make a move. And everyone's status quo once more.
Yeah, it's definitely good, decent restart for a lot of people here. Trying to keep people honest and trying to defend their own position.
Yeah, and it's just getting that feeling back, of course, as well. You know, you don't really know where the tyres are going to be. You've had that one or sort of 2 laps of racing where they're in their temperature window and then they've cooled again with a little bit of extra wear as Alex and Loppy fighting in 11th and 12th place. further back. But, you know, like you say, you don't know where the grip is now. And it is just, you don't know how it's going. Oh, Chris Bailey, 3-second time penalty. Oh, that's very wide from Reese. But okay, so far, and it's just where that understeer is going to kick in. And it's oh, Reese again very wide. I would imagine that might be a warning, maybe 2. He went wide at turn 10. And then again through turn 12. So he's not really got the fronts really warmed up just yet, struggling a little bit, but we know how fast, of course, Reese Whitcomb is. Multiple race winner. Of course, I'm pretty sure he's a champion. I could be wrong.
I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check myself.
I've got a memory like a sieve. I blame the rum. But that was Chatty Duck. I thought he was going to have a quick look at Reese. I tried to cut away further down the order, and Reese just had to defend a little bit, but everyone knows to tail. Loppy's out. That's exit turn 1. Another safety car. Now then, if someone has got, yeah, exactly. I mean, mediums would go to the end. They may not feel good, but you mentioned when we were in our race that the car's lighter, so they'll last. So the mediums may last now to the end if someone's got a fresh set. The field is bunched, so you will drop to the back if you pit, unless other people, of course, pit as well.
Someone could roll the dice here.
That's it, and I don't think the softs will go. Personally, I don't think they'll go that far. We're going to have, so what we've got, 13 laps after this one, so we'll have probably 11, 12 racing laps. So the mediums could do it if someone did have another set of hard tyres. Personally, that's what I would go for the consistency as they wear down. As you found, you said, you know, we discussed at one point we were on the similar wear. Mine felt absolutely atrocious, and you felt absolutely fine and comfortable. So that could, if someone had that extra set and went for that harder choice.
Dynamite's in.
Yes, he is. The race leader has pitted. We're going to bring up the tyres.
Else has.
Yeah, LRL and Soze, they have. They're all rolling the dice. This is going to be so interesting now. See what they choose. Have they got that first set of mediums available? Come on, folks, in the YouTube chat, hit the like button. There's only 4 of you so far, I think, unless I have to refresh. Come on, get your comments in as well. Who are you thinking that's going to win this race?
For Dynamite.
Yeah, that's what we think. They may go to the end. So Dynamite's spam it. He could have looked in. He can just cruise up to the back, not put too much heat through. Oh, Johnny Duck! I think he got caught out with Reese. And Johnny Duck 5 second, but yeah, collision with Reese. He looked like he got caught out. We were looking down the straight. Yeah, I think because they caught the safety car, everyone slowed, and Johnny Duck got really short-sighted. He's got damage now. He's going to be forced to pit. But the car behind the safety car, he's going to lose a lot of places. And that 6 seconds, well, it's now 11 seconds. He might serve that 5. He's going to probably drop to the back.
Yeah, it's damage on the front wing end, on the end plate on the right-hand side. That is going to be.
I mean, any damage to any wings around here, because of that high speed, it's vital.
He's going to be understeering off literally. If this good thing is he's under safety car, otherwise he'd be understeering off at every corner.
Yeah, he would have upset Mandy. Good evening, Mandy. Lovely to have you. Thank you for joining us. I think the Midlands are the heart of England. Yeah, I knew I'd upset somebody somewhere. I'm waiting for the Lion King to join us as well and give me some abuse as well.
Oh, another one of your ex-teammates.
Yes. Yeah. I know he's not far behind. He never is. So, yeah, so this is that for Chatty Duck. I don't know if it was just he got short-sighted. I'm not sure what happened. But he could see he slammed on the brakes, and the rear's locked a little bit for him, and he's going to have to pit, I would imagine. Yes, he does. There he goes at the top of the screen. But now then, these medium tyres, like we said, the cars are going to be a lot lighter. And it's going to be an interesting one, how far to the end they can actually go. And how they're going to feel. And how these hards, because, a couple of laps behind the safety car, 4 at least, that we'll have had since the guys put these on. 6 laps on them, I mean, they do wear quite quickly, unless that's just me, of course. Oh, soft tyres.
Yeah, Chatty Duck's going. Going all out.
Well, we had 10 lap sprint on Friday evening, and Spit's also got on the softs. And some people did use the soft tyres. I used mediums personally, and they felt okay, not great towards the end. But people were all right on the softs because, again, the car's lighter. So that's going to be a really, really interesting one. It's going to be interesting to see if he served that penalty as well. Let's have a quick look.
I think he did, yes.
Yeah, he did, yeah. So he's got the 6 seconds back. So now we've got Kidd in what you'd have to say a prime position there. Mediums, fresh medium tyres, while everyone on used hards, but not that used. You can maybe take 1% a lap out, maybe around here if you're careful, under safety car. Mediums it might take roughly that as well.
He's got that traffic to get through though.
That's it, isn't it? We've seen how fast Calvin is this evening. Armour Red's been very, very strong this evening. Reese and Ant both been nose to tail as well. Case Sozia's had a great race. He's going to be feisty behind Stefan. Rumax has had some good overtakes and some good battles as well. Same with G-Star and Alex. Bailey's found himself in 11th. He's just outside that top 10, but of course 3-second penalty. So probably the man he's racing most at this moment in time with that penalty is probably G-Star. So yeah, we've got a lot of different battles through the pack now.
I wonder as well with Armour, I wonder if he's going to play the team game a little bit and not hold Dynamite up as much.
Potentially, yeah, potentially. That could be. We're going to have to wait and see. The safety car is in this lap. There's the lights off on it. So now, third safety car restart. Now then, Ant is going to be our race leader, and see when he drops the hammer. Reese eager to get away and eager to get going. Doesn't want to be caught napping too much. He's right under the rear wing. Armour Red's there as well. So is Calvin. They're light weaving. Just really back in the pack and drops the hammer before the final corner. Reese saw it coming. Looks okay in terms of the understeer. A little bit hesitant. Whoa, Reese got a little very, very wide. So did Calvin a bit as well. But look, this Reese right under the rear wing. This is Reese. Oh no, but look at this Reese now. Got the jump, he's got the move done. His Armour going to have a look at Ant as well into turn one, but he's got Calvin on the outside, battling on his own. And look at this, there's Kid Dynamite's there as well. Calvin does sweeps on the outside and gets through, and then Kid's through as well.
Yeah, very opportunistic move from Dynamite there.
But look at the grip Kid's got. He's got out of turn 3. He's going to have a look into turn 4 on the inside, and he's through. Calvin.
Like he's not even there.
That was ridiculous from Kid.
It's those fresh mediums. I think they're working. And LRL as well. He's on the way. He's on the warpath too.
Yep, he's going to be pushing through as well. But Kid really took advantage of that Armour Red and Calvin battle.
And Keyser too. He's on right on the tail of the Williams as well. Those mediums must be fired up quite nicely now.
Yep, they're really going to be pushing right the way through. Chris hasn't been able to get through. Still in 11th in the other Mercedes-Benz. But look at Kid Dynamite now. He's just keeping out of the draft at the moment. I don't know why I said draft. I must have been watching some IndyCar over the weekend. I do apologise. Oh, it was actually, yeah. Which was, well, oh, look at that. Reese again very wide. Alex has got 3 seconds. Reese went so wide.
Yeah,
he may have lost time, so he may not have got a warning. Could have seen it a few times. But look, look at Kid. Kid is right up the back.
He's pushing that Mercedes.
He is, the board using it. Oh, DRS, there was nearly a bit of contact, but now because Reese has gone defensive, he's got another bit of slipstream to help him as well. Where's Ant? Ant's now she's having a look at the lead on the outside. What a bit of a defensive move from Ant. Oh, there's contact. Oh, wow, there was contact. Reese, I don't think, saw Ant. Ant had the wash. Reese nearly went round. Kid's now trying to take advantage to go on the outside of turn 5. Reese just defends.
Sell down, boys.
I know, but then look at that. We've got LRL Calvin as well. Oh, that was that. Got a big twitch on the braking as well. That's going to Calvin.
Got a bit wide as well. He's dropped a few.
Oh my goodness me, look at this, folks. I know it's a follow, it's a saving.
Well.
Oh, Kids, oh, look at this. Kid and Reese have had a bit of contact. The both went wide, both twitching like crazy. The way Kid is through, back into the lead, and so hopefully got his temperatures up and running, pushing hard. Armour and Rumax fighting tooth and nail further back. Look at this, it's LRL and Calvin. Oh, Calvin's had to, so he got through and LRL had to hold station. Wow, yeah, Chris Berry now up to 9th. Look at all this. There's somebody spun. That's Chris.
Oh, it's Armour.
It's Chris and Armour. There was a lot of side-by-side action. I think there still is with Alex and Chatty Duck and Thomas Horner further back. But oh my goodness me, Case Associate, the Falcon on LRL. This is going nuts.
Is this the Qatar Grand Prix, the Indy 500?
I don't know. I didn't expect them to do this in the final race of F123. There's Aston Martin pit. That's Thomas Horner. Armour's had to pit. They really, really are. This time out, Armour's had to pit. So unfortunate for him. But look at LOL's trying to have a look. Case Soze, wow, nearly as well. Shuts the door on the front of Case Soze. Round there, but he's got the runners. LOL on Calvin. Up to turn 5. Has another look. Puts his nose in. He's on the probably put the nose in. That's his brave. Oh, he's contact. He put his nose in and LOL's gone round.
It's not really a corner to try and move there.
Probably not. No, I think you're right. It's too high speed, and you are going to be taking that out to in move. And look at this, G-Star and Womax. I've lost my voice. Kid Dynamite absolutely romped away. 2 seconds now in all of that melee. He has pulled away and is still on the back of Reese. Now they've finally recovered with those hard tyres. They've now got the temps back, got the grip back, got the feel as well. Calvin is there as well within a second. Case Soze has dropped a little bit further back after all the carnage.
He's got G-Star and Womax company coming up now as well.
That he does. And breathe for about 10 seconds.
Anybody know CPR? Might need to come up with the comments box quick.
What happened to Case Soze? He's had to pit.
Gone round.
Oh, Case Soze has had to pit. That's so unlucky.
Alex has had a moment.
Yep, he has further back. That's allowed Chris. He's now back up to 10th. Good recovery from Chris. He's got some pace now. In that one, he's up. Well, yeah, of course, so he's now in the points potentially. But now look at this. This is Reese, and once again doing battle nose to tail. Look at this. That's Reese through the outside of turn 3. Is he going to try it on the outside of turn 4 and 5? He's not. He's smart. He backs out of it. It is pretty much single file through there, boys. And is he going to try and look into 6? No, he doesn't outbreak him. It's still a quick corner, regardless. These defending and battling Thomas Horner's DNF. He must have had quite a bit of damage from the collisions. He is retired in the. Fair enough. Moving on, because there's still a lot of excitement. Calvin's now caught these guys. This is a podium fight here. This fight has just allowed Dynamite to romp away while those mediums are still fresh, while they're still going before the potentially fade off. He really has. But don't forget these guys on the hard tyres. They're worn tyres. They'd already done 10 laps before the safety car had started. So. Now these guys are going to start feeling that grip drop off where Calvin now... Let's have a quick look at those tyres again. There it is. Calvin's with them, but you've got G-Star and Womax. They're the fresher guys. You mentioned the soft... Oh, yeah, it is. That's really, really hampering him now. But there's a 7-second gap off the back of Womax to Smith. And he's got a penalty as well. So G-Star will only lose 1 spot as it stands to Womax, but he's going to keep on pushing. Look at this. This is Reese on the DRS into turn 1. He's gone for the inside line. His hand's going to try and defend the overspeed for the Aston Martin. Gets the move done into second. And a bit of clean air. And I really need to try and breathe.
You alive?
Yeah. Just. Wow. What racing we've had so far.
Chris and Chatty Duck as well, they're wheel to wheel.
Yeah, that's
Jesus out.
Yeah, he pitted and he just pitted. And I don't know why, but yeah, he's pitted. So only 12 drivers left.
All around the outside of Chatty Duck as well.
Yep, so Chatty Duck 5 laps on though. We've got the tyre delta up at the moment. Chatty Duck 5 laps on the softs. They'll start fading away. Those mediums should feel okay for these guys at the moment. They should be a bit more consistent than the softs. So Chris on the back of Smith now as well. Let's have a quick look at those penalties there. 6 seconds for G-Star, 3 for Chris, for Smith, 6 for Chatty Duck, and 3 seconds for Alex Edrick. So that's G-Star. Where is he? There he is. Second to last corner. Yeah, second to last corner. We've said before that it can be a tricky one. That bump in the middle. Oh, he's come out ahead of Chris. He's trying. I don't know if he tried to move or defend. That was. Oh, I think that really would have been.
Yeah.
Just about. I think Chris tried to avoid in case he didn't. Then G-Star moved as well. Luckily, Chris, it was ghosted for Chris, but Chris has got LOL on the back of him. Is Chris? He got the DRS as well. So actually, he was actually a bit behind. Oh, Chris has outbroken himself. This is LOL on the inside. Has Chris got enough pace on the outside? He doesn't.
No, he can't switch it back for turn 2.
He can't. No, Chris really outbroke himself there. Just didn't slow the car down at all. Bit of a strange one.
Unlike him.
It was, but let's go back to this battle for the podium. That 7-second gap, let's get rid of all the stuff, get a bit more on the screen. Steve said he had wing damage and didn't fix, so race over for him. He would have to take the extra pit stop. Unlucky, Steve. That's so unlucky. You're having such a good race, such a strong race as well, mate. So really unlucky, buddy. We will see you back next season in F1 24, of course. But 7 seconds now, that gap that Kid Dynamite has got. He can just bring the car home, manage that gap nicely. He'll see the fact that Reese and Calvin are close in quarters because of the intervals he can do. He's actually got a bit of time probably to do the calculations, in fairness for him. LOL and Smith battling away. LOL's through again. Those tyres really, really working well. What can Chris do on the tyres as well? Chatty Duck, another 3 seconds for him. That's 9 for Neville this evening. I know that pain. And he was in a point-scoring position as well, so that's going to drop him out the points and allow Alex in. I wonder if Armour Red can close the gap in the final few laps, because he only needs 10 more seconds. Alex has got 3, so Chatty Duck's DNF. He's in the pits.
We've got Chris and G-Star having a little fight with each other.
It is, yeah. Chris has gone defensive. G-Star can't hold it on the outside, trying to switch back. Chris is going to have the pace, but G-Star still trying it around the outside of turn 2. Can't make it happen. Difficult to do on the outside of turn 2. You've kind of got to have it done at the exit of 1 and have the inside for turn 2.
Yeah, it's definitely it's got to be a smarter. It's got to be the switchback can be done, but you got to do it smartly.
Yeah, you really do. So 11 drivers left in our elite tier. It's a bit disappointing to say the least, I must say, but it is the nature sometimes. If you can lose a here, there's a lot of time you get wing damage, and it's just not fixable, unfortunately, from here. So it is what it is, unfortunately, but we have 2 more races, of course, for you in F1 23. We have Cup Tier, we have Sport Tier on Wednesday evening from 7 p.m. UK time, so do please tune in. So look at this battle there. Reese is still in the back of Ant, and Calvin about
racing on Wednesday.
Yes, exactly that. So now I wonder if Calvin didn't quite. Calvin's actually pushing hard, I think, to keep up with these guys. Reese is going to have a look on the inside once more, and he gets the move done, but Ant is not giving this one up. He is on the outside. Oh, a little bit of a squeeze from Reese, but just about left enough room. He's trying to hold it on the outside of 2. Ant gives him room, but this is now side by side through 3. Oh, this is tight. It's inside line. Who's going to keep it? And still there. 3, 4, and through 5. Oh, no!
Oh, it's contact!
Oh, no. There was, I think that's the understeer. I think that was, I honestly think, I'm not going to, I'm sure we'll see it in the stewards, but I'm not going to make a comment. That is half great for Reese.
With the tyres as well.
It could be hard compound tyres, of course, you say very, very worn at this moment. Womack has found himself in 4th.
Kept himself quiet, this one.
He's had a fantastic... I mean, he wasn't early stages with Loppy and his teammate. He was having a really good ding-dong. He now finds himself in 4th. He's got 5.7 seconds. No penalties so far. 2.7 off the podium. This is fantastic from Calvin. I said it in qualifying. What a good opening lap he's had, and there's a lot of good pace. So this is fantastic from him. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. And there's 2.5 to Womack. That gap, 5.7 seconds to Reese. LOL, 2.9 further back. And then Chris Bailey and G-Star. Yeah, but they're going to be battling away a little bit with Chris, who's found himself back in the points as well. So it's a great comeback from Chris, who did find himself near the back of the pack, of course, after that early spin.
Yeah, Chris with that drive-through off the start.
And, yeah, of course, yeah. He did. So 2 more race laps after this one, folks. So we're outside of the safety car window. Now it's just started to settle down. I hope. He says with absolutely zero confidence. Gaps have started to form. We've got 9.5 seconds. Kid has just absolutely driven away from Ant, who had a lot of company from Reese with that unfortunate incident. Calvin's just about keeping within a second of Ant. He's pushing hard and pushing really, really well. Womack's 3 seconds, just under 3 seconds further back, with Reese still that gap 5.7. So decent gaps. No one really in DRS apart from Chris Bailey and G-Star. They're having another ding-dong as the many they've had over the seasons.
It's 20. I'm just watching these two is like watching 2021 all over again.
Yeah, it's just never ending with these two. So, this has been a race of nutrition, as we've seen, unfortunately, with the retirements that we've had. Yeah, with the 7 retirements that we've had. We've seen a few drivers come through the field. Chris Bailey on his fight back as well. Womack's with a fantastic race so far. And, I'm looking at the drivers, I'm looking at where they are. I'm looking, obviously, a lot of the time, the safety cars have helped some of the drivers with their tyre strategies. But the position changes. Womack's up 14, G-Star up 10. Smith, he's a comp, or I think he's a comp tier driver generally. No assists anyhow. Our South African friend in the other Red Bull has brought himself right through the field up 7 spots and in the point scoring positions currently in the elite tier. So, hats off to that man so far.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it's good to see these lower tier guys, especially Smith and Armour, willing to give this a go and actually go against this level of opposition.
And be competitive. We saw Smith as being competitive. Armour was up there in 4th. He was right up there in qualifying, and he really gave them the pace. He got really, really unlucky early on, and just didn't go his way. But he's never given in, and that's the point that we make here in MRC. You never know what's going to happen. He may. Let's have a quick look at these penalties. There it is. He's actually he's in line for points for a point in the elite tier. He's 4.5 seconds and closing on Alex, who's got 6 seconds of penalties. He's in for a point, and that's it. Oh, 100%, and that's the whole point of why you keep battling, you keep going. Chris is on for 7th spot because unfortunately G-Star's going to drop down. Final lap of the race now, folks. G-Star now 12 seconds of penalties.
Yeah.
So for good measure. Oh, Kids, I'll tell you what, Kids not even giving in. Kids got 3 seconds of penalties. What on earth?
Yeah, but it's like going back to Armour Red and Smith quickly just a second. It's good to see. Because if you race against these guys who are in the higher tiers and everything like that, you can pick up stuff. You can learn stuff off them. You can pick up some skills. As I say, you might learn a technique that you never knew.
Yeah.
So,
especially when these guys go wheel to wheel, they do leave space. I think that Andon Rees will see in the stewards. I have my personal opinions on it. I'm not going to give it publicly because it's not fair. To do that. But there's a few things we probably still will see in the stewards this evening. But yeah, that's it, and that's it. The guys really race fair, and as we come down to the curtain call on F1 23 of the elite tier, Kid Dynamite, what a race he has had! What a strategy call! Absolutely fantastic pace in the early stint, and that final stint, he had a bit of pressure from Ant. There he comes across. But those medium tyres, that pit stop, what an opening, what that safety car restart he had was just incredible, and takes the victory. And in second, Calvin, fantastic, rounds out the podium. Great result from Calvin. Womack's in 4th. He has got to be very, very pleased for that. Well. Reese unlucky in 5th, but a good race nonetheless. Same with Stefan. And then we got Chris Bailey coming almost signed by. Yeah, I think G-Star just sort of led him by potentially a little bit there. Chris, good comeback in 7th. That'll cement the constructors. Smith beats his teammate. A fantastic race. Double points for the Red Bulls as well. Smith and G-Star 8th and 9th. And then we'll just come
Red did take P10 as well.
I think he probably did, but we'll just get the final. Well, provisional standings, of course, in one moment. Driver of the day, the game gave to Womack's. And you know what? As imperious as Dynamite was, and as fantastic as Chris's comeback was, I can't really disagree with that,
I don't think I can either.
Yeah, I think the way Womack, he had some really good battles, like I say, involved with his teammate early on, and pulled his way through the field, and just kept his nose clean. And I've got to give it to Womack. I have to. I think this time round, what a great reserve he was, and what a fantastic race, and a way to end the season. We had some fantastic action.
Oh, sublime.
I didn't expect a Hodgie Howler tonight, but we had a couple.
Yeah, we did.
What a way to round the season. There we are, folks. Provisional. He did. Armour Red did get that potential. And he got the fastest lap.
Kudos to him.
absolutely fantastic from Armour Red. So Kid Dynamite potentially, well, it will take the top spot. Ant in second, Calvin in third. Great racing from those top three. Womax, our driver of the day, in fourth. Then Reese and LRL. Then Chris Bailey with a great comeback. Started seventh, finished seventh after an up and down race from him. Smith, fantastic race from 16th, takes 8th. G-Star from 17th takes 9th as well, so good racing from the Red Bulls. Armour Red, unlucky from starting fourth, but still takes a point in the elite tier. Unlucky for Alex, who finished outside of the points. Chatty Duck and his teammate Casey Soze did not finish. With Dumas Hornet, Loppy, E17, Red Car Rambo, and Saviour with this unfortunate disconnect. And I'm still trying to breathe.
So that's the elite. That is the elite season done.
It is. It certainly is. Congratulations to all race winners this season, to all who have raced, and of course to Jody and Mercedes, who are constructors champions. Who joining the Ferrari takes the Drivers' Championship once again. But we have only got less than 48 hours, folks, until the Comp Tier and Sport Tier conclude their seasons on F1 23, and then we move over with a few races for F1 24. We reckon the season will start end of this month, but don't forget to keep your eyes out for the team draw, the all exciting and ever hilarious and absolute carnage that is the team draw every season. They'll be hosted from myself, probably with the Lion King, I do believe. Mr. Hills will be joining us from the hills of Andorra, and we may have one or two special guests as well. So keep your eyes peeled. Join us on Wednesday. It's going to be good fun, always is. But keep your eyes peeled, of course, folks. Join us on Wednesday evening. Thank you, every single person, for joining us throughout this season and making it a fantastic season, as always, in MRC. And to my teammate, what can I say? Thank you, Andrew. It's just been an awesome season, mate.
No worries. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Anytime. So thank you all, folks. Myself and Andrew, we might be on track on Wednesday. We'll have to see, helping out and reserving in those tiers. But we will be back on the comms in the new season. So thank you, and we will all see you very, very soon. Good night, everyone.
Take care.